Team USA beats France and wins gold. What's your overall thoughts and opinions on the game?
Well, my headline would be that Curry cemented himself as, I guess, the best point guard. I think in that semifinal and that gold medal game, the shots he was able to hit, it was just on another level. And I saw somebody say that, if Magic Johnson was a starting point guard, we would have lost that game to Serbia. Like, we wouldn't be able to. Steph brought us out of that game. And I think, even though I don't necessarily agree that we would have lost per se, he definitely has cemented himself as the greatest. Like, everything he does is kind of added on. Because I think once he kind of got that ring in 2022, they were kind of close. And I think just him at 36 doing this, Magic wasn't doing it at 36. The same way Jordan wasn't doing what Bron was doing at 39.
I just can't get down with the Magic. And, like, I really feel like that shouldn't be a debate because I don't treat Curry as a one. In my all honesty, Curry is a two.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, that's because of the team he's on. Like, I wholeheartedly believe if Draymond wasn't on the team, that if Curry was in a different situation, like, he was a point guard. He just got blessed to be in a perfect situation. Like, anybody, if Damian Lillard was on
Curry's not point guard game though.
Huh?
It's literally Curry literally plays like a two. I honestly believe
that's because Draymond plays like a one.
I believe Curry's a one because of defensive perspective.
No, I think he is a one. They just have Draymond, who's like the best point forward ever, besides LeBron.
I feel like if he was in any other position, his game is still his game. Like, just right now, Bron can play the one. You have most of the people play the one. Curry plays literally like a two.
Yeah, he plays off ball because he's more effective that way.
And that's his game. And what does the number two position mostly play like? Off ball.
Yeah.
That's like when you put Curry and Magic in the same conversation, Magic was actually a one. Magic showed what a one was actually supposed to be. Passing the ball, doing this. At 6'7" at that.
Right.
So we put Curry in the conversation. So you want to label him as a one? I'm not going to argue that he's not better than Magic skill-wise. But if we're going by what actually a point guard is, it's Magic. Because Curry realistically is a two.
I think those are two separate things. I think if you're asking what's the more textbook point guard, is Magic Johnson. Like, that's, I guess, what you want a point guard to do. But Steph Curry is more effective.
Like I said, skill for skill, yes. I'm not going to argue that Magic is better than Curry. It's Curry. But we're going for what a point guard is.
But that's the thing. That's not just Curry. Basketball has become more positionless.
And but Curry has always been. That's my thing, though. Curry has always been like that. Like, right then they brought CP3 in. When CP3 came in, what did Curry go to?
That's because Curry, it's not, you're going to go to Curry's strength. His strength is, let's get him open shots. It's harder to shoot.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And what does so let me put it like this. Does Curry's strengths more rely to as a number two or as a number one?
I mean, two.
Exactly. Realistically, Curry's a two.
I mean,
the way Curry moves off the ball, now I'm not taking away his point guard abilities, but what I'm saying is the way Curry is, his shooting ability, and the way he plays his game, and the way teams use him, like, this is different. We seen how he was used with Golden State. Right. He been on. Look how he was used in the Olympics. He's used like a two. And yes, you're right, MK. That is his strength. But Curry's strength is related to a two-guard position more than related to a one-guard position.
See, that's the thing. I think that he's so talented. Like, it's just his shooting. If he wasn't as good of a shooter, I have no doubt that if Draymond Green wasn't there or if he needed to play point, like a traditional point guard, he could. It's just that his strength is him shooting. So there's no need to do that.
Okay, well, we bring shooting, and what is the number two called?
A shooting guard.
Exactly.
That don't change. That don't change what Steph can do as a one.
Okay, put it like this. And if you take away Curry's ability of shooting, yes, he would be a one at that point because that's Curry's best strength. But Curry's best strength allows to two guard. That's really how you play. Put it like this. I feel like if you bring any guard, CP3, what's a noticeable like person that actually plays the guard?
Like Rajon Rondo.
Rajon
Like back
Rondo.
in the day.
What's underrated guy? Watch Tyus Jones just went to the Suns.
Yeah.
He plays like a point guard that spaces the floor, facilitate, average the assists. That plays like a point guard. I feel like if an actual point guard comes into the Warriors, Curry's automatically bumped to the 2.
I think it depends because, again, I think it goes back to the reason that they're able to have so much success is because they had Draymond. Like, Draymond was able to facilitate, and it took pressure off of Curry. Curry was a point guard before he, like, blew up.
Okay, so let's put it like this then. You keep going to the point forward of Draymond.
Right.
What about when the games Draymond missed? What did Curry still play like? It does not change.
He played more like he had the ball in his hands more.
He had the ball in his hands more, but when he passed it off, what is he doing?
Running around off the screens. That's what I'm saying. He's the best shooter ever. Like, that's what I'm saying. That if Draymond, if they don't have a point forward or another point guard, he's gonna have the ball in his hands more. And of course, when he moves it, he's gonna keep moving because he's the greatest shooter ever. Like, when
it's out his hands, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not disagreeing you that Draymond takes a lot of the point guard responsibility away from Curry. What I'm saying is, when Curry gives up the ball, right? When Draymond not playing, Curry gives up the ball. He's still playing how he plays if Draymond.
Yeah, he's running off a bunch of screens.
Yeah. Yes. What does a 2 guard does? Perfect example. Clay does the same thing.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. If you're the greatest shooter ever, why wouldn't we run you off of screens? That has nothing to do if he was a 2, a 3, a 1. He's gonna run off of screens.
Let's put okay, let me see if this helps. Let's put it like this, right? I'm gonna give you a list of names, and you tell me if Curry would fit more with these guys or fit more with these guys.
Okay.
So shooting guards, Klay Thompson, J.R. Smith, I really want to say Devin Booker. I put him in there. That's 3 right there.
Okay.
Point guard, Rajon Rondo, Tyus Jones, underrated guy, plays point guard very well, and CP3. Who does Curry fit more?
I mean, out of those names, shooting guards, but you named like 3 like 10 assists per game point guards. He's not that, but he's more of a point guard.
But who does he play more towards? Because he says he play more at the point guard position that people ask for the point guard, or does he play more like the 2 that plays it?
That's what I'm saying, though, that the point guard has changed. Like, he's definitely, I would say he's closer to Chris Paul than he is J.R. Smith. Because JR doesn't handle the ball. That's what I'm saying. Yes, they both run off the screen.
Does Curry handle the ball? How can I put this question? Does Curry runs around more like J.R. Smith than he does handle the ball at CP3? He runs more around like J.R. Smith than he does handle the ball.
But he can't. That's my point, though. JR can't do what Steph can do as a point. Steph is a combo.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him. I'm saying
it goes both ways. Like, CP3, Tyus Jones, Rajon Rondo, they can't shoot like Steph, and then JR and D Book and Klay Thompson can't run the offense.
I'm saying Steph is split down the middle. That's why I did 3 names and then 3 like I did. Who does he fall more to though? The 2s or the 1s?
I'll say the point guards because
more towards the 1s.
Yes, because they can't handle the ball like him.
No,
they can't handle the ball like him.
Does Curry's strength go more towards the 2 or towards the 1? Not who you're looking at the 3. That's what I'm saying. What does Curry relate to? The 2s or the 1s more?
That's not fair to just name 3 randoms because
basketball. He's some of the greatest shooters, the greatest ball handlers of all time.
Right, and he's the greatest. And that's what I'm saying. He's the greatest shooter ever, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a natural 1. He's the greatest shooter ever.
That's thing. A natural 1? No, he's not a natural 1. He's not.
That's what he was coming out of Davidson.
He's not a natural 1.
That's what he was coming out of Davidson, but then Golden State got the
shooting ability is more to a 2 than it is a 1. He's not a natural 1.
He literally is. He probably has the second best handles in the league after Kyrie.
You don't believe that, do you?
Who got better handles than him?
You don't. So Harden not the conversation for that?
I'll say Steph got better. I'm not saying Harden or got handles, but I think Steph.
So you're saying Curry is the second best ball handler after Kyrie Irving?
He's definitely top 5. Definitely top 5.
I give you. Okay, I might give you top 5, but saying he's the second best.
Okay, who's second?
Harden's in that conversation.
Nah, I don't think so.
I probably can name more if I let me see.
I think
Give me one
him,
second.
Darius Garland. I
Darius
said him and
Garland.
Darius Garland are next. Him, Darius Garland, and Trae Young are 2, 3, and 4 in my opinion. He just doesn't have to get in his bag because of his shooting ability. That's not like Steph is just more versatile than the average point guard or the average 2 guard. Either way you want to put it, he can do both.
We're talking about league right now. I was saying say Chris Paul, but we're talking about league right now. Prime Chris Paul to get that boy some work.
He used to work him when they played him in the playoffs.
You said what?
Steph used to work Chris Paul.
Yeah, but we're talking about best ball handlers. No, Steph's not too. Matter of fact, the 3 names you just took, I'm taking way over Steph right now. Darius Garland, Trae Young, Kyrie.
Yeah, I can live with that, but he's definitely top 5.
I might can give you top 5. He might be top 7 if I go look at names. I can't think of the top of my head right now, but he might be top 7.
Those are the only names I can think of that I would say, yeah, I go Darius Garland, Trae Young, and Kyrie. I mean, and again, even if we're saying top 7, that's my point. He's a shooter who has top 7 handles. Even if you want to say top 7, he's the greatest shooter with top 7 handles. Anybody who's the greatest shooter, regardless if they're a 1, a 2, or a 3, he'll be
What is his biggest strength?
Shooting.
And his biggest strength relates to more what? A 1 or a 2?
A 2.
Exactly.
That doesn't change the fact that he's a 1. Conversation. That's like saying KD is more like a because of how versatile they are. Like that's what I'm getting at. The game is more positionless. Like KD, your average 7-footer is not doing that, but KD's different.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the game is more positionless because Bron has played all 5 positions.
Yeah.
KD Mike can do the same thing. Luka, in my opinion, as a 1 is still crazy in my head.
Yeah.
But what I'm just saying is if we're going to where the debate is Magic Johnson and Curry. When you go to what a point guard actually is, it's Magic Johnson. He's the greatest point guard of our time. Curry's a better player than Magic, but he is more of a 2 than of a 1.
But he is a 1, is what I'm saying. He might not be as effective of a 1 as Magic, but at the end of the day, the point guard on the Golden State Warriors is Steph Curry.
So if we're gonna say effective as a 1, your words now, effective as a 1. Who would that make the greatest point guard of all time then?
It depends on what you're looking for.
If we're going to the prime example, so put it like this: if you was a coach,
I'm taking Steph Curry.
You said what?
I'm taking Steph Curry.
That wasn't the question. How was your question, buddy? You shooting too fast. That wasn't the question. If you was a coach and you had 5 guys and you had to choose your 1, do you want your 1 to play more like Magic or Curry?
Curry. Because
so question, how do you want your 2 to play then?
If I have a Curry, then a nice combo guard.
I'm taking Magic. I want a facilitator. I want somebody to do what Magic did.
I want somebody pulling up from 40.
I believe in the traditional 1.
It's not. I believe in pulling up from 40. It's again, it just goes back to Steph. Steph is 1 of 1. Like if it was anybody else,
I'm not disagreeing with that. He is his shooting ability is unnatural. But if we're going to an actual 1, it's Magic Johnson.
Magic is a better facilitator.
Magic's a better 1.
I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for. Just because, like, Steph will get you more points, Magic will get you
more assists. If we're really coming to a conversation, I will say Steph has changed the game of what a 1 is. Because he's labeled as a 1.
That's what I'm saying.
But if we're actually being real, if Steph was never labeled as a 1, the 1 is Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Steph changed what it is.
Put it like this. Like you said, Curry's a 1-on-1, his unnatural shooting ability. That his shooting ability relates to a 2. All other point guards, or you would teach a point guard relate more to Magic Johnson.
Right. So I'll say this: it's easier to be Magic Johnson. If I was coaching up kids, it's easier to turn them into Magic Johnson than it is.
Yeah, they turn to Curry. Yes, because you asking a kid to be an unnatural shooter and shoot for 40.
Right.
But that's the thing though. that is something you would try to teach your two guy
No.
instead of your
Nobody
one guy.
shoots like Steph. Look, you shoot.
Bro, if you're
Your guards can shoot. All point guards can shoot the shit out the ball. All of them.
Yeah, point guards are made to also shoot too and make plays. Kyrie Irving, for example, unnatural handles. He can play the point, but he can also get the shot off. What I'm saying is, if I had to split my group up from ones to twos, Curry would go work my twos.
Nah.
You want Curry to work your ones?
Yes.
That's no.
Have you not seen his ball handling workouts? He is a point guard.
I would rather have Kyrie work my ball handling workouts or Magic to learn how to be a point guard. My two, Curry,
that's what I'm saying.
Show my guys how to shoot.
I'm telling you as a fact, Steph has all that stuff in his bag. He's just more of a shooter than them. Again, I'm telling you, if he was a one, if somebody take height out of it, like imagine Steph Curry was 6'7". If he could still shoot like that, you would still be running him off of all them off-ball screens. If he was 6'5", same thing. He just happens to be 6'3", so he's naturally a point guard, but he shoots the shit out the ball.
He does not play like a one. That was not how
he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. If he was 6'7" and he shot like that, he wouldn't be playing like a 3. It would still be more like a 2 because of how well he can shoot. But he still has all the point guard stuff in his bag.
But that wouldn't be a good example because threes are really unpositionless anyway. Threes are the most unpositionless basketball.
But I'm saying if they could shoot like Steph, they would be looking like a 2. That's what I'm saying. Steph,
yes, but it's not looking like a 2. Steph plays like a 2.
He plays. He just plays like a great shooter, bro. Like I'm telling you.
But okay, and a great shooting in the name is shooting guard, which is a 2. That's
what I'm saying. He's a point guard.
So we're saying this, but this go back to what I said earlier. If an actual point guard like CP3 comes, where do Steph automatically get?
Yeah, they're more of a facilitator. They're more of a facilitator than Steph.
Because of what? Because of his shooting, right?
Right.
Which just plays more as a 2. We had this conversation. When the Warriors brought Chris Paul in, and we was having this conversation about when they was at the 9th seed and the 8th seed or all about that. Remember I said this. When Curry came to his actual position, and CP3 came in as an actual one guard, it made the Warriors look very much more dangerous because you have a person to actually play the one and let Curry do what he wants to do as a 2.
Right. And what I'm saying is that's because you have one of the greatest facilitators ever with the greatest shooter ever. In Curry's prime, he's winning back-to-back MVPs as a point guard.
But that's because that's what he's labeled as. What did he play as?
He played as a combo.
Yes. No.
Don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying, running off all the off-ball screens, all that stuff. Again, it goes back to it fits perfectly. You got the greatest shooter, a top 5 shooter, and a great.
We go back to the handles. Curry handles lead him to more than him just chucking at the ball. He showed it in the Olympics.
What you mean?
Like when Curry has a ball, it leads more to threes than him actually working the offense or getting to a spot.
That's because he's looking for his shot. That's because he's looking for a shot because he's the greatest. Like, okay, for example, that shot he shot over the double team. If anybody else is taking that shot with KD and LeBron open, they're getting cussed out. It's different with Curry because he's the greatest shooter ever. When you're the greatest shooter ever, you play differently. Like, again, this doesn't have to do with the fact that it's Steph Curry. If there was anybody who was 6'1" that could shoot just as well as Steph, they would be running off. No matter how good their handles are, no matter how good of a passer they are, they're going to be running off a lot of off-ball screens. That's what you do for your shooters. Point guards could be shooters.
Hey, we're going to be on this conversation all day. I made it to a different segment. We'll let some people get into the comments.
All right.
Let's get into we was on the Olympics.